All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down one of the absolute biggest leaps in AI technology, something called multimodality. Now, I know it sounds super technical, right? But trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why this isn't just another small upgrade. It's a total game changer for how we're all going to interact with technology.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big idea, what we're even talking about with AI's new senses. Then we'll nail down a clear definition. After that, we'll look at some mind-blowing real-world examples. We'll explore why this really changes everything, and finally, we'll peek into the future it's building for us. Let's do it.
All right, first up, AI's new senses. You know, for the longest time, talking to an AI meant, well, typing at it. We typed in a command, it typed back a response. But that whole paradigm is being completely flipped on its head.
So let me ask you this. Just imagine you're pointing your phone at some weird bug on your windowsill, and you just ask, out loud, hey, what is that thing? And boom, a voice just answers you, tells you what it is, like you're talking to a person who's right there with you. That's not science fiction anymore. That's the world we're walking into.
And that right there, that's the whole idea. At its core, what we're really doing is giving AI the equivalent of sight and hearing. It's no longer just a text-based brain in a box. It's becoming a system that can actually perceive the world around it in a much, much more human way.
Okay, so that's the vibe, the general concept, but now let's get a little more specific. What exactly is multimodal AI when you strip away the hype?
Here we go. The single most important word on this slide is simultaneously. Really, that's the whole magic trick. This isn't about having one AI for pictures and a separate one for audio and another for text. No, this is about one single system that understands how an image and a sound and a piece of text all connect and relate to each other all at the same time.
And this is where you really get that aha moment. The big shift is from or to and. The old AI, unimodal AI, was stuck in these separate lanes. It could do text or images or audio. Multimodal AI, it just knocked down all the walls. It's text and images and audio all flowing into one unified intelligence. Here's a great way to think about it. An old AI could read the words in a children's book. A multimodal AI reads the words, looks at the pictures on the page, and could even listen to you read it aloud to understand your tone. It gets the full context. It's the difference between just reading data and actually experiencing a story.
Okay, enough theory, right? This stuff isn't some far-off concept from a movie. It is here, right now, and it's already powering some incredible tools that you can actually see and use. And of course, we have to start with the one that made a huge splash recently, GPT-4o from OpenAI. That little O at the end, it stands for Omni, as in, it can do it all.
And, the stuff this thing can do is just staggering. We're talking about having a smooth, real-time conversation with it, almost no lag. You can show it a math problem you scribbled on paper, and it will literally talk you through how to solve it. But honestly, the part that really got everyone talking is that it can hear the tone of your voice, if you're happy, if you're sarcastic, and respond to that emotion. That's a whole new level of interaction.
But hey, OpenAI isn't the only player in this game, not by a long shot. Google is right there with its own powerhouse models called Gemini.
And Gemini is an absolute beast when it comes to this stuff. Think about this. You can literally draw a rough sketch of a website on a piece of paper, show it to Gemini, and it'll generate the actual computer code to build it. Or you can give it a super dense report with charts and graphs, and it'll analyze both the text and the visuals to give you the key takeaways. It's reasoning across different types of information.
So, okay. We've seen some pretty mind-blowing demos. It's cool, for sure. But so what? Why does any of this actually matter to you and me in our day-to-day lives? Let's get into the real impact.
Because this is way bigger than just a cool new feature. It's about fundamentally changing how we use our devices. The whole idea of using keyboards and mice and clicking through menus, that's starting to feel ancient. We're moving to a world where using technology feels as natural and easy as just talking to another person. And once that interaction becomes seamless, it kicks off this amazing chain reaction. It starts with just being able to talk to our tech more naturally. But because that's so easy, it suddenly unlocks these insane creative tools. Imagine just describing a scene and having the AI create a video for you. And when you have that power, you can start tackling huge complex problems, like having an AI analyze medical scans, weather patterns, and research papers all at once to find connections a human might miss.
And if you want to know where this is making the biggest waves, just look at this. A full 40% of the transformation we're seeing is inaccessibility. And let's be clear, this isn't just about convenience. This is about technology that can be the eyes for someone who is visually impaired, describing their world to them in real time. That is profoundly life-changing. And of course, it's also set to completely revolutionize education, media, and research.
All right, so let's bring it all home. What's the big picture here? Where does this road ultimately lead?
I think this quote just nails it. This isn't just about smarter computers. It's about building a bridge that finally connects the abstract digital world of information to our physical world of sight, sound, and touch.
So the end game here, it's all about removing the friction. It's a future where you don't have to think about how to ask your device for something. You just do. You might talk, you might point your camera, you might type a little. The AI won't care. It will just understand. It becomes completely intuitive. And that leaves us with one last, pretty deep thought to chew on. When our tools start to see and hear the world in a way that mirrors how we do, how does that change us? How does it change our own perception of reality? That right there is the really fascinating story to watch as this all unfolds.